SGC here, and we're back with a movie review. Into the Woods. Directed by Rob Marshall, it is adapted to the screen by James Lapine from his and Stephen Sondheim's Tony Award-winning Broadway musical of the same name. And it features an ensemble cast that consists of Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, James Corden, Anna Kendrick, Chris Pine, Tracy Ullman, Christine Baranski. So the cast consists of Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, James Corden, Anna Kendrick, Chris Pine, Tracy Ullman, Christine Baranski, and Johnny Depp, and everyone else check down below. So Into the Woods. So basically it's a fantasy genre crossover centered on a childless couple who set out to end a curse placed on them by a vengeful witch. And sprinkled throughout the entire movie is Grimm Brothers fairy tales of Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella, Jack and the Beanstalk, and Rapunzel. And ultimately, the characters are forced to rectify the consequences of their actions in their own realm of short story fairy tales and the actual couple and the whole curse thing themselves. So that's basically the entire plot, and obviously this is adapted from a musical, so there's a lot of singing. So what do I think? Well, first off, I have a major bias to Emily Blunt and Anna Kendrick. I love both of them. They were both amazing in the previous films that they were in, and that's basically why I watched this film to begin with. And they delivered on the eye candy level. I appreciate their singing, or the ensemble cast singing was, they did what they needed to do, though the songs were rather repetitive in terms of just the concept and the actual lyrics. And basically the highest point of the movie for me would probably be Chris Pine's number where he talks about being a better prince than the other dude. And in terms of singing, that was probably the best score for me. Now in terms of cinematography itself, I appreciate what they were trying to do, as in they built the set where it felt like people were entering and exiting on a stage, and that was cool and all. And basically it's a film that has a lot of stuff put into it. I mean, Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and Beanstalk, Cinderella, and Rapunzel all put together, so there's a lot of rich potential characterization from their respective fairy tale. And unfortunately, I would say not much of that really carried over for this whole crossover thing, as the baker and his wife is the core storytelling narrative, and then we also have all these fairy tales. They feel rushed in a sense where it doesn't really build much. It feels more like, let's tell the fairy tale and then somehow tag them along to this like baker and wife thing, and then yeah. And basically there is one point in the movie where you seriously think that the movie is going to end, but it doesn't. And that's where it really falls downhill for me. Everything before that was acceptable, and I guess I could take it. It wasn't that amazing, but I was like, okay, fine. I'm okay with it. But everything after that point on, I was just like, why did this movie not end? And that's the biggest thing, where the rest of the movie really made everything else before it a lot worse. Because it's like, you see it as a whole complete package. The latter half totally spoiled the beginning. The beginning had its sort of quirkiness, sort of somewhat charm with the whole musicalness of it, and it's different interpretation of the fairy tales. But like I said, the fairy tales themselves, how they were narrated, didn't feel amazing or any just goodness from it. Like, I swear Johnny Depp's character, I don't know why they even wrote him in the sense where they needed Johnny Depp. I watched it and I was like, oh, that's it. It's your typical Johnny Depp thing. I think if they gave the same style of sense to somebody else, it would have worked better for that person, because that person might not have been known for makeup, but Johnny Depp is known for everything not real, so it doesn't bring anything new to the table. So yeah, that's basically it. It's a musical. The songs aren't that amazing. The set and cinematography resemble a stage play, but that's basically it. The narrative could have been so much better. There was a lot of rich potential here, but it just didn't go there. And if you're in it for Emily Blunt and Anna Kendrick, I would say it'll be better if you're more of an Emily Blunt fan rather than Anna Kendrick, because Kendrick's not really there that much compared to Blunt. Blunt's the main character, And I would say I definitely would recommend it if you just go for Blunt, and everyone else is just sort of like cannon fodder. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? And yeah, that's basically it for this movie review for Into the Woods. So if you have seen it, leave your comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And that's it for this movie review for Into the Woods. Out.